Hi boys and girls, our book for today is A Case of the Zaps by Alex Boniello and April Lavalle. We borrowed this book from the Central Skagit Library. Sometime in the future, in a galaxy not so far away, is a planet called Robot Earth. It's like Earth, but robot-y. And on that robot Earth lived, you guessed it, a robot. Their name was 3.141592638589793234626433832795028884, or Pi for short. Pi was just like most young robots. They enjoyed playing music, walking their dog, hanging out with their parental units and friends, and snacking on their favorite treat, DW40. Not to mention, as you can see, Pi had a lot on their plate, and not just the DW40. One day, Pi was in school when their teacher surprised the class with an announcement. Pack your bags, class. Next month we'll be taking a field trip to the place that started it all, Old Silicon Valley. The class sparked with excitement. Pi felt their circuit board buzz with anticipation. Pi had always dreamed about visiting Old Silicon Valley. Pi spent the whole day thinking about the trip. Not only the fun times ahead, but also all the things that could go wrong. Later that day, Pi was walking home with their friends when... zap. Whoa, said Pi. What's the matter? XAE12 asked. Point 1 asked. Pi felt a tingle in their arms. Zap, zap. Are you okay, Pi? Asked Ram. I'm not sure, Pi said. Zap, zap, zap. Pi's defense mechanisms jolted on. I have to go, Pi shouted as they hurried away, feeling their cooling fans kick into overdrive, feeling zaps all around, feeling afraid for reasons they didn't quite understand. Warning, that night Pi tried to fall asleep. Warning, but they had more on their mind than usual. Warning, sorry. Over the next few days, Pi tried their best to appear calm, cool, and collected. They tried not to think about the trip, because every time they did, they worried that the zaps would return. But it seemed that the more Pi tried to ignore the zaps, the more space the zaps took up in their hard drive. One night when Pi and their parental unit sat down for dinner, Pi could hardly touch their DW40. Their battery was feeling dangerously low, and from their central processing unit working overtime when... No, not again, Pi said. Defense mechanisms on, zap, zap. Pi bolted up to their room as fast as they could, hoping to outrun the zaps. Motherboard and fatherboard followed their robo-kid upstairs. Pi, is everything okay? Was there something wrong with the DW40? I don't want to go on the field trip anymore. The field trip? Is that what this is about? We thought you were looking forward to it. Pi usually told their parental units everything, but this was difficult to talk about. Something feels wrong, Pi explained. The gears in my head are whirring, and my cooling fans are going into overdrive. My danger sensors feel like they've turned up to 11. I'm scared I might be broken. It took all of Pi's courage, but saying the words made them feel a little bit better. Pi, you're not broken. You're talking about the zaps, Fatherboard said. I had them big time when I was starting my new job at SpaceX 2. And your cousin, cosine tangent, has had them for years. Really? Cosine tangent just won the RoboBell prize for discovering a vaccine for malware, said Pi. Yes, they did, said Motherboard. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a case of the zaps now and again. What's important is taking care of yourself and managing the Zaps. Let's pay a visit to Dr. Bleep Bloop in the morning. The next day they booted up bright and early and rolled over to Dr. Bleep Bloop's office. I'm so glad you came in, and I'm proud of you for being brave and talking to your parental units about all this. I know I can really get your spriggets in a sprocket to talk about the Zaps, the doctor said. But why are they happening to me? Pi asked. What did I do wrong? I have a firewall installed. Dr. Bleep Bloop chuckled. Oh no, this isn't a computer virus. The Zaps can happen to anyone, big or small, Windows or Mac, old or fresh off the assembly line. Anyone? But they're so scary. Dr. Bleep Bloop nodded. They can feel that way. The Zaps activate your fight or flight sensors, even when there's no danger present. Oh, that explains why they make me feel like running away. So, give it to me straight, Dr. Bleep Bloop. Is there any cure for the Zaps? Pi bravely asked. There isn't a simple cure. Part of getting over the Zaps means getting used to having them sometimes. It can be a signal that it's time to be brave. There are ways to manage the Zaps, and we can work together to make sure that your coping mechanisms have the most recent software updates. Over the next few weeks, Pi and Dr. Bleep Bloop explored strategies to help Pi work through the Zaps. Dear Diary. Bleep Bloop. Pi even built up the courage to talk to their friends about it, and learned that one of their friends had the Zaps too. Finally, the day of the trip to old Silicon Valley arrived. Armed with new skills and coping mechanisms from Dr. Bleep Bloop, Pi hopped on the bus, ready to have a great time with their class. And Pi never had a case of the Zaps again. Just kidding. Pi had a great time on the trip, but there were certainly moments where the Zaps started to creep back in. When that happened, Pi used the tools that Dr. Bleep Bloop had shared with them, and then the Zaps didn't quite feel so scary. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Pi knew that managing the Zaps would be a long time process, and robots definitely know a thing or two about processing. That was a really awesome book. I'm just double checking that the Zaps are about anxiety, and they are. That's really cool. I highly recommend this book, you guys. I'm going to read it to my class for sure next week. All right, boys and girls, we hope you enjoyed that book. Have a great day.